Mason, you want to hear a story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, Joe hit me up a couple weeks ago, and...
This Joe?
Yes, that...
Okay.
He goes, hey, a friend of mine needs a window replaced. It's in stucco, like, what do you think price-wise? So we start talking about it, going through all the details, and I was like, all right, yeah. I was like, so what's going on? And he's like, well, my buddy accidentally discharged a round through the window, and it shot not just through the glass, but into the frame of the window. So it's not like we could just replace the glass. So
here's the question though: Can you tell by the hole in the window what kind of bullet it was?
No.
You're not that good?
No.
Okay.
We're not forensics.
Let me look at maybe 100 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll be able to tell you, but no.
Because that was a 380. You would have never guessed.
No, I thought that was a 9.
That was a 380.
Yeah. I think we even have a picture of that.
Yeah, it wasn't manufactured by a
Oh, it's
firearms
on the phone.
manufacturer that supports the ATF or anything.
Yeah. Let's see.
So people should get bulletproof windows in their homes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Preferably indoor shooting ranges as well.
I don't think I have the photo. I'll have to find it later. Anyways, but we go over to their house. We're tearing it out, and it's like in the side yard. So neighbor's house is right next to them. And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the hole. I'm looking at the neighbor's house, and I'm like, where the fuck did the bullet go? So they come over to the window, like as we've got it all torn out, so they're on the inside. I'm like, hey, what the fuck happened to the bullet?
Yeah, that's not in your job description.
No, it's not my job description, and it's also not a way to get reoccurring business either.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. The other funny thing was, his friend is living with his friend's mom, right? She owns the house. Does that make sense?
That sounds sketchy.
Why?
Friends living with his friend's mom? Are you sure they're just his friend's mom?
No, misunderstood. It's his mom.
Okay.
Just trying to just make it like it's not. Anyway, whatever.
So is his friend banging his mom?
No.
Is that confirmed or unconfirmed?
Confirmed.
Okay. Anyways, carry on.
So she came out. So all right, let's start with this. We didn't supply the window. We were told, hey, he bought a replacement window. He just needs it put in, and like torn out, put in, and that's it. So, we have the new window installed. We're finishing up. We're probably like 30 minutes away from like we're gonna be saying goodbye. She comes out and she looks at it and she goes, hey, what are you guys going to do in terms of making the windows match? And I'm like, oh, well, like we've got the stucco cut out. So the stucco guy's going to come and he's going to fill in the gaps because it's got the decorative pop out. He's going to make it look exactly like all the others. And she's like, no, not that. She points out on the window frame that the new one is about like 1.5 inches wide on the frame. And the other one's like 2 to 2.5 inches, like 2 1/4. Like it's a negligible, color's the same, everything looks the same, everything's fine. But she seems to start having this OCD moment about this fucking window. So the funny thing though, is it's in the side yard, on like up against the wall that you can't walk through. Like you can walk through the gate on the other side of the house. Like no one's gonna see this window. The nearest window to this one is like 15 feet away. So you can't even get both windows in the same line of sight. But she's starting to stress about this thing, so I'm like, oh, dear God. Like, but in the end, it was also like, we didn't supply the window, so what the fuck do you want me to do about it? And she's like, well, can you take it off of the old one and put it on this one? I'm like, it's a vinyl window. Like, obviously, I didn't tell her this. And I just more did
hope not, yeah.
I did the polite, like, no, sorry, like, it's all one piece, so, like, we can't take it. But it's like, it's a mold. Like they literally cast a mold out of vinyl and they're like, here's a fucking window. So no,
Well, maybe she'll call you back and pay you to replace all the windows. That's what you should have pushed. I can replace all the other windows to match if you want, miss.
Maybe we shouldn't incriminate ourselves so much. So just go discharge guns through all the rest of them.
Through all the windows.
Great business idea.
Yes. Do you have a bullet hole in your house spontaneously? Do you need it repaired?
We did a business dinner at Raising Cane's like 2 months ago, kind of planning on some marketing stuff going into 23. And Joe's idea for how we could drum up business would be we're going to go break people's houses and then leave flyers at their house that we can fix their shit.
Genius marketing.
Yes, exactly.
Supply and demand.
See, we break the back window so they don't suspect it was us, and then the front, it was where the card is, right? So it's like, oh yeah, they only came to the front yard. They had no business back there.
Yeah, you need like almost like a hitman for that. They can't be a part of your company. It needs to be like a side job.
So we've got a
Separate LLC.
I've got a crackhead cosplay. Pre-game it a couple days in advance. Like, hey, your neighbor told me some guy came back here and was throwing rocks through windows. We're wondering if you got hit.
I would joke with clients when everything was going absolutely crazy in the market and be like, hey, if you really want this house, we know there's going to be a lot of showings on it. I'll pay a couple homeless people to just camp out in front of this house for like 2 days so that everyone's like, hell no. And then you start thinking about it and you're like, this isn't a half bad idea, especially with how fast things were flying off the shelves.
So this is kind of off the rails. It's kind of, I never brought this up to anyone. Bobby's place, right?
Uh-huh.
So we were at his folks' place and we go over there and we dick around all the time. And we're talking like straight pipe cars, straight pipe Mustangs, dirt bikes, all kinds of nonsense. We're just out ripping them. Well, I brought my doodle bug over, my little 9 horsepower like lawnmower engine on a mini bike frame that's about yay high, 2 or 3 feet tall, tops. And we're cruising it around, and I realized that when I go around the neighborhood, there's a lot of houses that just got built that were bought within a week of being completed that are now back up for sale. And I think we might be somewhat responsible for some of that because one of the houses for sales was an immediate neighbor, and I think they bought in at like 1.1.
What neighborhood is
this? Well, it's near the Biltmore.
Start advertising over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Need somewhere quieter?
Yeah. Because we just go ripping through there and straight piped everything's, and dirt bikes especially, that's been a real good one, doing burnouts and what have you.
Yeah.
But we literally have chased at least one neighbor out of the neighborhood, I think. They weren't having it on a couple different levels.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of new builds.
It's a sore subject. This builder's taking forever. Although, just get an update. The end of February.
What are they going to tell you then?
And for the folks at home, it was supposed to be done in August.
Wait, so what do they tell you was going to happen at the end of February?
That it will be close to done.
Close?
Yeah.
Like livable?
Yeah, because like stucco, everything's up. Cabinets are going in on the 5th of December.
Yeah. Oh, Thaddeus, you want to make some people's lives miserable?
How?
You ever heard of punch list?
Punch list?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to answer that question.
So here's what you do. If you find that something you don't like, and you can get as close and you can inspect it as thoroughly as you want, get a magnifying glass out, and keep a roll of blue tape on you for the next month of living in that house. And every time you see something you don't like, put a piece of blue tape on it. And tell the builder, I found a problem.
Just like the walkthroughs?
Yeah.
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 So they'll do like a 1-year walkthrough with you?
Yeah, I always do. I tell my clients that all the time. But not to do it periodically throughout the year. That's genius.
No, just like up front, just find every problem you can as soon as possible, and while you still have warranty through the builder, blue tape. Oh, you don't like that square, that like 1/4 inch like piece of spec missing out of the what is it?
Oh, 100%.
The grout.
Yeah.
This house is going to be 100% perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It better be with how much money it was and
I waited,
how much time.
I waited this long, so it's a couple extra months for you to fix everything.
Right. Did I tell you guys about the house that my brother and I worked on that they screwed up every single electrical receptacle? This is so we'll start with basically we were putting in new pendant lights and they wanted a chandelier above their staircase and stuff like that. So very nice people. We're talking to them and they start telling us they're having issues with the plumbing. We're like, oh, like it's a new build. Like they just moved in. And we're like, what's going on? Well, we don't have hot water at the shower, the tub, the dishwasher, any of those places. But we do have hot water at the toilets. Apparently, in the plumbing phase, they had fucked up and got their...
Blue and red colors mixed up?
Basically. But it's all white. So, like...
How did they find out the water in the toilets was hot?
Because I'm pretty sure they flushed it and then...
Steaming. Yeah.
Basically.
I just imagine someone like, I wonder, you know?
You flush and you're like, it feels like a bidet, but we didn't get that function installed.
What kind of spa toilet is this? This is nice.
So they had that issue. But then, I don't know if Malachi pointed it out to him, but he's got his journeyman's card, so he knows code. He works for an energy company out here. Dude knows his shit. So when he opened stuff up, he noticed they did not ground any of the outlets, any of the switches, anything. So he brought it up to him, and they went and talked to the builder. And they came to the electrician, and apparently it's throughout the entire house, and the electrical company said, no, we're allowed to do it that way. And my brother's like, literally, it's in the code. I'll go get the fucking code book and show you where it says you're not allowed to leave these receptacles ungrounded. And so it got so big, it became so big of a deal that the VP of the electrical company got involved and said, well, I've got 1,100 houses like this. And it's like, you dumb fuck. You just admitted that you screwed up so many times that if they rule against you, you're going to be going back through every single house.
Is this the same builder as my builder?
No.
Okay, thank God. And let me guess, did these people have a realtor representing them?
It wasn't me if they did.
Yeah, because you're supposed to turn on all the faucets when you do your walkthrough and make sure the hot water is working. You run the dishwasher. You turn on everything. So
Energy maxing?
What?
Energy maxing?
Yeah, you just got to make sure everything's working for your final walkthrough.
Nice.
Hot water, electricals, everything. I mean, it'd be hard to tell if it's grounded or not.
Do you do it all at the same time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
grounds.
it's you get like 2 hours. You walk through, you put tape on everything to fix everything.
Well, the grounds, like, part of that has to be on the inspector, too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. How did that pass inspection?
Did you imagine
I
a
don't
super
know.
not doing that? Like, just like not walking house, making sure things work? That's
Well,
insane.
1,100 houses.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not going to take the slap on the wrist for this one house. I'm going to admit that
Right.
I've been screwing up for 10 years.
Yeah, that's... Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I've been screwing up for a decade. I'm going to burn some houses down. What about it?
Yeah, which, for the most part, like, usually electrical, you're fine with, because how everything's built, cool. It seems like a lot of the code gets added on because you'll have some kind of isolated incident which now requires revision in the code book. But at the same time, if it's in the code book, it's now gospel.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that wasn't like, oh, that was in the 2021 version, and we're still using the 2018. Like,
The
that's...
house was built now.
Yeah, and that is from years ago. So there's no excuse for them to be shitting the bed on that. It's like... So, anyways, that person, we ended up finding out they were getting a lot of stuff taken care of by the builder.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think all the drywall holes that we cut in their house to run our electrical, because we had to go through stuff like that, the builder's like, no, we're going to take care of that. Don't worry about it. It's
You
like,
can also take care of half my mortgage. That's what I would have done.
Oh, you're going to pay my house insurance too? Great, thanks.
Yeah. Pile it up.
yeah.
Dog daycare? I don't feel safe leaving my dog here during the day? Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yep. All right, let's get this thing going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sledgehammers in the Office podcast, where we celebrate the heavy hitters on the job site and in the office. Today, I'm joined by MasonOxendale. Sir, what are we drinking?
We got a little bit Long Island iced tea tonight, fellas.
All right. He is one of our realtors with Realty One Group.
I call myself a real estate specialist. But thank you.
And a certified negotiation expert,
Correct.
because that means something.
It does.
To a lot of people.
We've got Joseph Morris, or Joe as we know him, with
We got-
Sledgehammers in the Office.
We were drinking Bahama Bahama Mamas, and we're also drinking a White Monster.
Ooh, double fister.
Yeah, we're getting tricky. We're old school Four Loko right now.
Okay, fair.
Upper and a downer, boys.
Yes.
And then our fourth chair is missing. Our other realtor, Scott Curtis, he had some family stuff that he needed to attend to, but we're going to see if he'll stop by, and if not, we're going to FaceTime him at some point. So, all right, we got a couple things that we'll jump into.
Hold on, explain what that is.
All right, yeah. Apparently, the quart and the half gallon are only $1 difference, so Fat Boy got excited. Shamrock chocolate milk all the way.
You could have just got the off-brand too. That would have saved you some money.
He drinks it for the flavor.
It's a flavor.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, this is tippy top right here. There's a hierarchy of this shit, and
Do you have any messages for anyone who drinks anything else?
yeah, Bobby, if you're listening, chocolate milk from Walmart is dog shit. So it's not a personal thing at all.
Nah, I'm a grown up, so I don't really drink chocolate milk. So
Some of us just decided not to drink alcohol. So, all right, let's talk about inventory real quick and some of the building metrics that we track just to get some of our housekeeping out of the way. Inventory for active homes in Phoenix is 15,857. We're seeing that actually decline over the last several weeks. We've seen 4,222 homes close in the last 30 days. That's also that one's actually up over last week, which is interesting. And then interest rate, we're sitting, I think it was, I got the email about it.
just over 6.25, I think.
Yeah, just over 6.25. And then 2x4s, 355, plywood, 1710, and then 14.2 Romex is still 47 cents a square foot. Plywood's up, 2x4s are down over last 2 weeks ago. So seems like nothing crazy's moving on the real estate side.
So we're off 7% though for interest, or is that the specific?
Yeah, we're below it, which is good.
We're coming down. We're coming down.
Yes and no, because you can see basically the way interest rates work. If you track it over a week, it just ping pongs back and forth. So part of it also depends on how you catch it. So basically what happens is when we hit, like we were dancing probably last year, we're dancing from like 3 to 3.5, and then once January hit, we saw that kind of start trending up. So it still bounces around, but the overall trend is that it was going up. So now we're kind of sitting. It's been hovering in between 6 and 7 for a couple months now.
And if you're gonna look at the 6-month graph, you'll notice that we're probably gonna start slowly coming on the downtrend. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
That's what we're hoping. There's a lot of people preaching to us that is definitely going to happen, but whenever someone starts saying definitely, I start saying, all right, we'll see. Which that kind of brings us into one of the things that we planned on talking about was the median sales price of some of the houses, and we're going to focus kind of on the Arizona market. We're seeing that level off a little bit. So we had what is that magazine? The Arizona Journal of Business and Real Estate. They've got a graph where they track the median purchase price for homes month over month and year after year. And right now we're up. Let's see, where were we? Last year in September we were at $450,000 for our median purchase price. Right now we're sitting at $499,000, which is $41,000 less than we were back in May. But it's only a $1,000 difference than we saw last month. So this might be an indication that we're leveling out, mostly because over the last several months we saw larger chunks or larger slides that were happening in that median purchase price. My only thing would be is, like, we know that the seller concessions are up considerably. Do you think that that has anything to do with it, or do you think we're actually hitting like a plateau as far as we're not sliding back anymore?
I mean, we might slide down a little bit, but the overall trend is going to be back to even. Like, we're not going to go back to the median home prices being in the 3s, but then again, we're not going to go back up in, 2020, 2021, where it was over 500,000. Like, we're not going to hit that again. That was something crazy. I mean, we might eventually, or 550.
Because we're at 500 right now.
Yeah. So we're going to start leveling off.
Out of curiosity, from someone who doesn't see this perspective, what
Yep.
are a lot of people looking for as far as these homes go in that price range? Are we talking about like median-sized families? Are we talking about just couples? What kind of people are buying these houses at that price range? And what kind of houses are they buying? Square footage-wise, bedroom, bathroom?
So basically, if you want, I'd say like your entry house for a family is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and the square footage probably 1,200 plus. If it's a single family home, we're starting 350 and above, and more heavy on like the 400,000 side with that right now. Like if you're going to find something 350, it's usually been sitting for a little bit longer.
Compromise on age, probably. You're looking at stuff built in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes a lot before that too. So, with the median purchase price coming down, we're seeing a lot more homes kind of become accessible in that price range. But for the most part, like the hard thing is for anyone who's lived in Arizona for a long time, you think of a $500,000 house, you're thinking like, oh, like you're going to have very nice finishes. It's going to be a larger house. But right now it's almost like, has your house been updated? It's probably worth 500.
Yeah, people run into the issue because interest rates were so low, purchase prices of homes were so high but they could still afford it because of the low interest rate. So as the interest rate spiked drastically, but the price of the home has slowly gone down, that people just can't afford that size of a house with that interest. They can't afford the monthly payment. That's what I've got a couple clients. They need a 4-bedroom, but they need something under 400,000 or at 400, which is
Yep.
you're not going to find anything nice, or it's going to definitely need some work or be in a older neighborhood.
Yeah, does that kind of push you into like different zip codes or even counties? Like you're
It
looking
just
at Maricopa
it just
and
pushes that price point. You're not going to have a lot of buyers.
Yeah, you're
No.
kind of getting out of the Phoenix, though. I don't imagine you're spending too much, that kind of money in Phoenix, right?
It depends. I mean, Arizona's so weird. Like Phoenix goes all over the place. So does Glendale, Peoria. It's not just simple like this section is Peoria, this section is Phoenix. If you're talking like Central Phoenix, those prices always stay fairly high. So I mean, it's happening all over the Maricopa County.
It's like, let's see, Queen Creek, they're at 607, Santan's 450, Sun Lakes is 570, Florence is 370, El Mirage is 350, Coolidge is 315. So like,
So the closer you get to Central Phoenix, basically, the higher the price. So if you're
yeah,
out in
it
Eloy,
will be, but like the way that I think we still look at it is like, Apache Junction is 385. So you're still looking like that's if you're commuting into Central Phoenix for work.
You're in BFE.
Yeah, you're in BFE, and the price is still up there. Like Phoenix, where's Phoenix? Phoenix is 445. So you're looking at a $50,000 swing on the median purchase price over those two cities, and which isn't, in my mind, isn't that big of a deal. So the hard part is kind of to Mason's point. It's not that you can necessarily be like, all right, like, do we compromise on how close we are in terms of distance? Because with what happened between 2020 and January of 2022, we saw everything, even on the outskirts of what we would think of as traditional Phoenix, appreciate in price as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Storm's coming to an end, though. Have to have that faith.
Yeah, which it's,
Signs are pointing that way, but you never know. Anything can happen.
yeah. We were talking before we started recording that I'm a very skeptical person when it comes to that, but I feel like even then, I don't have a sky is falling mentality either. So I think that people promising paradise is coming, I get skeptical about that. But do I think that it's Armageddon? No, not necessarily. So
No, it just depends on, we talked about this, just depends on the situation that you're in and if it fits you right now.
Yep.
That's literally all that matters.
Yep. So.
quick advice for anyone moving here from out of state: don't.
I don't know. Everywhere else is pretty. Where's he come from?
I think west. The West.
The West, like
California.
California. Yeah, they're like our prices of homes out here.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point.
Yeah, but we're no longer where we were in terms of livability and price point.
No, we've also been voted one of the most rude cities, or I think counties
You
in
serious?
the country. Yeah.
Would you see that? Probably say that. Would you see it on Facebook?
No, Instagram. No, I think it was scrolling through just the Google news points and yada yada, and that came up pretty quick. And I think we're like top 5 because everyone that comes here that's from like North Dakota, stuff like that. Seen a lot of North Dakota plates. They're probably used to people being a little bit more hospitable out here, and we are still one of the H words, but they didn't expect hostile.
Yeah, well, there's so many Californians moving in here, so you can't lump us Arizona people with them. They're just, some of them can be a-holes.
We're going to blame it all on the immigrants, and we're not talking about from our southern border. We're talking about from...
No, those ones are cool. They do
Western
really
border.
good hard work. Yeah. I really like those guys.
We'll take the southern ones over the western.
Absolutely, yeah. I want people that come here and work hard. I don't want people who want IT jobs out of another state
but
to come here.
if you're going to buy a house, I'll mess around with the California.
Yeah, I mean, if they're spending money, tax them somehow. Just throw 10% on there, just for the sake of. Yeah, the listing price is $387. Oh yeah. No, it's $389. A couple grand goes to me just for having to talk to you.
That does not live up to our fiduciary standards.
or probably the code of ethics that we have to sign, and they're like, we'll bend you over a barrel if you violate these.
But that doesn't stop people. So
How tall is the barrel?
All right, Joe, let's talk about construction. We talked about real estate a little bit.
Yeah.
Crazy house you've been to this week. What are we looking at?
Oh man, you know what? It's nothing like walking into a house that's worth a few $1 million and they've got a $500,000 car in the garage or something like that. Doors keep getting taller. That's one thing I do is I deal with a lot of doors and windows. 15-foot tall is looking like it's getting a little bit more common, which is
15.
15 feet. Yeah,
are you starting to see wider doors too?
Yeah, wider specifically.
Well, all right. So when we talk about the doors aren't necessarily getting wider. They're more like turning into walls that you can operate.
Yeah, and actually there's a company making doors and windows now called Active Walls. And we have stuff that, we have one job where the entire unit, it's over 30 feet long, I think, or something with that tune, and it completely submerges into the floor. So it's flush to the ceiling, flush to the ground, and when you open it, it just sinks.
That's badass.
Yeah, either that or there's stuff that you can put them on motor. Wow, voice cracked hard. Put them on motors and they'll open up just by the touch of a button and it'll retract all the way into the wall.
Yeah, 12 by 8s where I can't even go up to it and hug it, where I normally am supposed to be able to.
Yeah, I was just thinking wider just because as America, we're just getting wider as people.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more people asking for, especially just because,
The rich people stay fit though.
But the ones I'm dealing with, they can afford to have anything done to their bodies they want, and they do it. Or they get it done for somebody else.
Anything done to their spouse's wives.
So here's the deal. They keep getting prettier. I don't know what it is.
We had this job up in Flagstaff, and the guy had oil money. And he had a
nice one.
do we think it's a mail order bride or is
She tipped us, didn't she?
No.
No. That was
very polite, but it looked like he should have been married to the mom. Yeah, good for him. I mean,
Congrats.
he's killing the game, but
yeah. Oil will get you more than money. I'll put it like that.
yeah, Saudis know better than anyone.
Yes, exactly. The less digits on a license plate, the more it's worth. Did you know that?
Did not. Is that just for like the car or for the?
Yeah, for the cars.
So if I just get a custom license plate that says 1 on it, I can sell it for more?
Oh, I mean, so that's only applicable in a couple of different countries in the Middle East.
Okay.
Saudis. But yeah, really cool. Usually license plates are worth more than cars out there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah.
Do you want to break some news real quick for the podcast for everyone?
Let's break them.
All right. I'm not going to be full-time in real estate anymore, starting in December. So I'll be back full-time on the construction side. I'm going to be working with general contractor I used to work for. I had him on the show, Matt Ducharme. So it'll be cool being back with their team, doing all that stuff. So
Is this good news?
I think it's good news.
Here we go. You always got to ask.
Yeah. So no, excited about it. That'll be good. Good group of guys that it looks like I'll be working with. So excited to see how that goes. For their, I don't know, interview process, which was more like a meet and greet for the team, they had me come out to one of their projects that was a multi-million-dollar remodel. And basically the back half of the house is missing right now. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, birds can just nest in it right now because walls are gone, roof is gone, and apparently we're going to be turning that thing into beautiful home, new pool, new landscape, all that good stuff. So
Nice. For the homeowners?
yeah,
That should be sweet.
so
So I would say I'd miss you at the office, but I know you told us not to lie on this podcast, so I won't say that.
He's gonna take your office.
no, I already know that guys have sites on my office right now.
Yeah, you
Like
share
the
an
new
office. Nobody wants that.
Trevor does.
Trevor's in a cubicle.
He wants a friend. I don't know Trevor, but I hope you get the friend you're looking for.
I hope you have patience and willing to work with your desk mate.
Yeah. So we're going to check out a property
Yes.
and kind of pick it apart, essentially.
Yep. So the way we'll do this is we've got a property that we'll find, and then typically it'll be Mason and Scott giving us the realtor's eye on what we're looking at, and then Joe and I are going to kind of give the construction eye on what we see as far as finishes currently, and then what we think could happen to it in regards to updates. What would be difficult for updates, what would be like, hey, here's something easy, and go from there. So,
Yeah.
want to do basically average priced house. It's listed at $440 right now. It was listed at $450. It's been on the market. Let's see, where's our days on market?
See, this is my biggest pet peeve already, is that because it's quote unquote a lower priced house, this mother effer, he didn't even use an iPhone. He used an old school 20-year-old camera that timestamps
All right,
what it is.
give me a second. Let's get to it.
But there's still recent photos, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's still time.
It's ridiculous.
3 beds, 2 baths, 1,500 square feet.
Hire a professional.
Well, they probably did. The professional was just old.
No, he acted like he was a professional photographer. You're a real estate agent. Sell the house. Don't take pictures.
All right, let's see. When did they put this on the market? Listed for sale, 10/26. So, on the market, less than a month. Let's go into the pictures. Mason, pick it apart. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
I'm already irritated. It's not professional taking photos. You don't have a widescreen lens. The photo light sucks.
All right,
It's hard. Yeah.
Give people a perspective. Though,
I recommend.
on
I recommend that if you know exactly when pictures are being taken, so don't park in your driveway.
All right. How hard is it though, to as someone who is selling a house, to get professional pictures done to make them like quality that you'd see on any other listing?
Zero. It's not hard at all.
How much are you spending?
Oh, anywhere between $100 to $200.
So, like less than
Chump change.
well below 1,000.
Yeah. So they're paying you some big bucks to sell their home. So
Joe, you got a calculator?
Huh?
Spend the money they're paying you for professional pictures to help sell their house.
Do 450,000
7.
times 0.025.
11,250.
So that person, if they were to spend $250 on professional photos and other bullshit, could still be walking away with $11,000.
Depending on what it was signed for, yeah.
Yeah.
It said 2.25 on the buyer broker, but you know that motherfucker is probably, I shouldn't say that. We need to be nice to our realtor partners. That person is probably, a lot of times on the listing side, they might have a higher percentage for themselves.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So stay on this picture go back to the kitchen because kitchens sell. Kitchens, master rooms. is that when I do a walkthrough with my clients before I list it, I give them some advice on little things to tidy up your house, specifically only for when pictures are being taken. Because those pictures are the first thing they're going to see and invite the potential buyers in and want to see the house. So something as little as take the flag down over the window. The little things, unless they mean a lot to you for some reason, like the random cups on top of the cabinets, put them in the cabinets for pictures. Minimize it. Make it so that they can envision their house in there. And then the front door open in the background doesn't help either.
Yep.
And you can't tell how big that kitchen is.
Yep.
Just like the kitchen?
I think we're looking at the master bathroom.
Yeah. Well, just like the kitchen, take things off your...
Oh, look at the left side.
Yep, take stuff off the countertop on the right, and then if you go to the left, make sure nobody's in the vicinity of the photo. That should help. It looks like he's got an eye watch. Just little things. Little things. Little things like this. Shut your fans off. You can tell the fan's moving. That's not a bad picture. I've seen some worse ones while the fan's moving. But
What are we getting with this angle?
it's not even the angle. It's because they used a camera and they didn't put a wide lens on it like a professional does, so you can't capture the entire room. So, again, it goes back to professional photos. And on top of it, 9 out of 10 times, the photographer that shows up there, if the homeowners are home, they'll tell them, be like, hey, will you take this off? Will you do this? They'll give you pointers on what to do. Lighting sucks. Next one. Same bed, same bathroom. Next. The guy's in the picture. What is that a picture of?
Wait, go back.
What is that a picture of?
The floor.
You can't see what the floor is just based off the other pictures?
Didn't we
Trying to
see
show
this
you
pic-
his gut.
Didn't we see this picture already?
Yeah, I thought you went backwards.
No, yeah, I did again.
See, you can't tell the entire room. You don't really know, but it looks small. This is blurry.
Someone's nephew take these photos?
It can't be. With someone.
Yeah, and I've seen it before where some homeowners try to haggle and say that they take their own pictures. But no, just I'm paying for them. You don't have to pay for them. Let me pay for it. Let me sell your house the way I know how to be sold.
Hey Joe, do you notice anything with the pergola?
Yeah, nothing looks square at all. Not one bit of it.
Yeah.
You notice how the poster's set differently? Is that what you're insinuating?
You
That's
could
what I'm
also,
saying.
I'm assuming that big, long, black thing is not a shadow. It's like a hose.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Reel
a garden house.
it in. I mean, not a terrible picture. You don't expect much for a garage, but like I said,
No.
you can't see the entire garage.
I feel like sequence is another thing that people should pay attention to.
Exactly. You order the pictures and like how you would walk through the home.
Because I feel like we've gone inside the house, outside the house, in a bedroom, outside the bedroom, back in the bedroom. It's like, what are we doing?
And it's not a bad house. It's got new
No.
flooring. The kitchen's nice. I mean, so it doesn't allow you to see some of the biggest features.
Yep.
And also go back. Oh, that's in there right there on that one too. I mean, you never know who's going to come inside your home. So maybe a Jesus photo, the centerpiece of your living room isn't the best, or whoever that is.
I'm assuming Jesus.
Yeah.
Beautiful
And-
washer jar.
Unnecessary things to be in a picture.
They've got commercial grade size detergent.
That's the only way to go.
All right, we'll buy it. Hey, look, they just installed a new fan, or they're going to. See the fan box background?
Yep.
A fan box.
Right by
See-
the door.
By the bed. That's a new fan. It's a bot, like,
Oh, in the
Yeah.
actual box.
Yeah. No, they haven't installed it yet. And if they have, I'm
Also,
so sorry for the
another
person
thing, if your clients or owners are going to be doing any upgrades to it, wait to take the pictures.
yeah. We're back in the master bedroom.
Wait till this is just the same exact picture.
Yeah, and we have not repeated yet.
Very poorly done.
And same picture, same picture.
And I was going to
same
ask,
picture.
were these pictures that they uploaded specifically to Zillow? But no, because it's got the MLS stamp in the left corner.
Yep. All right.
So, yeah, they're trying to sell the house with these pictures.
All right, final notes. You're going to talk to the agent, or you're going to talk. Let's first say you're buddies with this agent. You see, hey, saw your listing, go on the market. What are you telling them?
Like buddies or
Friends that you could come into. Like, let's say this is my listing, and you see, hey, Thaddeus, I saw what you did. I need to straighten you out on a couple things.
stop being a cheap ass, hire a professional photographer. Your only job is to sell the house the best way possible. You don't fix anything. You don't take pictures. All you do is you give recommendations and give out information to specific services that can do those things. Professional pictures, and just give them some advice on how to make a picture nice.
And then what are you telling if you're the listing agent, what are you telling the client? And I know we kind of talked about this.
Yeah, we have a list of things that we email them and tell them you need to spruce it up, clean it up, make it look like you don't live there, anybody else does. I mean, you can have things on the countertop, like a Keurig machine or bigger things that you use, but cups on there, the sandals and the empty water bottle on top of the washer and dryer. Take it off. At least just move it on the ground for the photo, and then you can put it back up if you really want to. Because these are the first pictures that they're going to see. So make it count.
Yep. Especially in a market right now where people who are trying to sell a house, it's sitting longer. It's more important that you dial in everything that you're doing, because if you're looking at this and you're looking at the next house and this one looks below what you want to deal with,
Exactly.
Buyers have a lot of stuff to choose from, so it really pays as far as that $200 is really going to help you, especially when you're staring down multiple price reductions over several weeks.
Yeah, you make those pictures real nice and clean. When they go to visit it, they know people live there. So if it's cluttered because of just your daily, you have kids and stuff like that, they're going to know that. They're going to remember the pictures that they see, that they saw on it, and visualize it and be like, oh yeah, this is the kitchen. And they're going to remember the pictures over what they actually see, if they see like some stuff in the dishes or
Yep.
some sippy cups hanging out.
Yep. All right, Joe, our turn. Let's talk about what we like, what we don't like, and go from there. So,
Oh man, don't get me started, please. Hold on, go back to that last photo. I just
Yep.
want to get something clear. Please clean up your front yard. Please do anything you can to clean up that front yard. You've got empty you've got empty pots everywhere. You've got no grass. That bird bath is there's no water in it. It's only stuff from the palm tree. You can see it's some like trash in the bottom left from the palm tree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just bad, Smash that out. That whatever that is in the entryway system, that weird cutout in the Tetris. My mind goes immediately to what can I throw through that as I'm walking through that entryway and catch on the other side. I don't know why.
which I feel like that's more just a decorative thing that there's certain, I don't know, architectural things that they do with certain,
Yeah, they're
in a
hiding
couple of
something
years.
structural to the house to add more ceiling space. And I get
Well,
that.
it could be that, or it could just be decorative, because there's some architects when they're going through for a community, if it's the 80s, 90s, and even today, you'll notice that there's certain themes that they go through. So like that to me, like I'm not necessarily worried about, and for a homeowner to change that's going to be a huge pain in the ass compared to the return they get on it.
Okay.
The thing that I'm looking to immediately is they've got a hardtop countertop and then also a stone backsplash as well. Huge fan of that. It's not the laminate. It's not the just any stone is going to be a definite step up from laminate, because laminate just says, hey, it's cheap. You're probably going to want to redo this at some point. So, and then the stone on the backsplash as well matches everything. You could do a tile backsplash, but they've already got that there. So cool. It looks good from far away, but I always like to make the judgment up close is painted cabinets. So just something as far as when you're walking through, what do those look like? Because unless you have a painter who knows exactly what they're doing when it comes to painting cabinets, you're going to be able to tell every single time when you walk up to it. There's the difference between a painted cabinet and a brand new cabinet is
Significant.
oh my gosh.
But kind of look at the sink. If you go back to that one, I'm just curious as to if there was ever a backsplash to that or not, because that seems like it's a weird spot on the counter to me personally, and I don't know.
On the island?
Yeah, do you see that?
No.
I don't feel like I see too many sinks in an island like that.
Oh, I
where
love
it's that
that.
close to the edge.
Not in older homes like that. They do have it in newer homes now.
Because this one was
Yeah.
91, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's what I said.
I personally like it that way. So
I think that's interesting. I think that's a weird choice, but
Yeah, which I think
2
a
inches
lot more
around.
people like it as well because it then makes it, if you're preparing any food, you're staring into the entertainment area as well. So it's not like do you know what a galley kitchen is? It's then you're not like tucked away from everyone while like maybe you're entertaining some guests or whatever. So you're kind of part of it. Another thing, tile looks probably original to the house. We don't really see anything. Same thing, cabinets, countertops.
Yeah, hit me with the cabinets down there, those drawers that are beneath the sink. You know, half those are dead. This one's right in the front of the sink. I would imagine those be a little bit wider, but that's just me being probably nitpicky.
Yeah. This is a pet peeve of mine. You see how the sliding glass door has a chrome, or not chrome, but gold finish?
Yeah.
But then you look at the faucets.
Ties are nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, what do the handles look like? That's just a personal pet peeve. Like, I'd
Right.
like to be a fluid. Same
Right.
thing.
So, and part of that is going to be, like Joe pointed out, 90s construction. So 90s construction and early 2000s, everything was that gold finish
Yeah.
on it. So what that tells you is obviously they've updated the countertops, they've updated the faucets, but it's a lot easier to do that because those are more on hand
Yeah.
than obviously the mirrors. And you
Yeah, but
can't
if you're
really
going to
paint over
spend the
it.
money to do all that kind of stuff, that might be something a contractor might point out and be like, hey, have you ever thought about doing this?
Yeah, but I don't know. The mirrors sometimes can be a little tricky one, but I hear what you're saying because I love the continuity as well.
Hey, go back to that last one. Yeah, look at the entryway system for the bathroom. I guess I don't know if it's an entryway, but the framing for that, not even. That bugs me. That irks me just a little bit. I feel like you could just
Where?
slap a 2x4 up there. So the arch above the entryway.
It could be
to
the
bathroom.
angle because of the
It's
poorly
gotta be
taken
the angle.
pictures.
It looks like a lot of space, but yeah, I suppose so. But
Yeah.
it looks like a big space difference.
We don't need to shit on every picture too.
Ah,
And-
jeez.
Just easy with this one.
yeah. I wish we saw more of the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Because
don't
like
see
we see the tub, cool. It'd be nice if they put like a tile backsplash on there, but that's something easy that you could do. Have someone come in who knows what they're doing, could be a handyman, and really kind of transform that space with something really minor and really make it pop. So looks like they did new baseboard, new floors.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It makes it look a lot
Yeah.
nicer.
I don't see any weird joints or anything either, which
Yeah.
is nice. It's not like all
It is
stacked.
vinyl though, right?
Yeah. So, and that's my only thing as far as like, especially for buyers who have more options now, this is where I'd say look at the finishes, or is it a kind of finish that you want? Because personally, vinyl is one of the lower ends of finishes that I want for flooring. That's my personal preference, but obviously they've done a nice job with the baseboard and the vinyl, at least from what we can see. Nothing in the bedrooms necessarily, blurry photo. Outside looks fine, nothing to complain about. Back to the front. We got a lot of pavers, so if you want to take those out, that's going to be
Yeah.
a little bit of work. And then we mentioned the pergola before. That's going to need some straightening out because that's leaning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to knock out some of the pavers that do that too. I mean, you
Yeah.
probably just relocate them to the other
Yeah.
side.
And your backyard and your front yard, not going to add any value to your house necessarily.
Unless
it's
it is done like to a T.
It is a huge selling point. It is a make or break or if somebody decides to wait for another house to come on the market or to put an offer on your home.
Yes.
Because this backyard's got potential.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you could even, like the trees that are in the middle of that raised area, if you were to get rid of those and put like a pergola out there, that could be a huge entertaining space.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Garage,
Garage is
nothing.
looking okay.
Yeah, nothing to complain about there. We're back in here. Like, so the thing for the 90s is like kind of Joe mentioned, is the soffits. So you'll see the bird that's perched up there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing really you can do with that, and no point even messing around with that. That's
No,
just a
yeah.
stylistic thing.
But it all looks pretty square though, which is kind
Yeah,
of nice. I wasn't
everything-
expecting
Which
that.
most people know when they buy this old of a home too. So
Yeah, and as far as 90s, it's not that old compared to like a 60s, 70s, and 50s even. Same thing with the floor.
The transitions from the wood floor to the tile, it looks like nice thresholds too. Not seeing anything crazy there.
Yeah. Cabinet doesn't necessarily match, but it's a laundry room, so no one really cares. And if you really want to, that's a couple screws and probably a couple $100 cabinet at Home Depot, and you're good to go.
Yeah, or just some sanding and paint if you're really good at it.
Yep. Trying to tell. I think that's a new fan that they should install.
Yeah.
because that looks like a 3-blade fan, not a 5.
I'm
So
curious about that little window on the top right. Kind of curious about that.
yeah, that's probably just decorative, but cool.
All right.
I think that's my notes for it.
Yeah, not a lot going on there.
Price point wise, anything?
Seems expensive. But
Mason?
it's appropriate to the market.
85
Square footage? I think it's
Yeah.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably started too high.
Which almost everything's
Well,
starts.
yeah.
No, they didn't start high. They started optimistically.
Yeah, which is half the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking down someone's optimism.
But a house that might not have, like they have the granite countertops and the new flooring, a house with better pictures and just less cluttered would probably sell easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Nice.
Now, the real question: would you buy it?
No, not with what's on the market. That's a good question.
There's not enough rooms.
Yeah.
For your family?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like there's too much other stuff on the market that I'd lean towards.
I will say the 5 Series in the garage. You know.
As long as that comes with that.
Yes. Yeah. At that price point, please give me your 2011 5 Series.
All right. Do we want to see if we can dial up Scott real quickly?
No, just show him a picture of him.
Yeah. Can we get a?
Shoot him a text.
We
See if he
should.
can
Why
come
don't
on
we
real
just have a skeleton? We can get bones from the office and put Scott's face.
Because
on
he
it.
might still be in that meeting, so
quick? Shoot him a text.
I don't want to shoot him a text.
Why not? Just shoot him a text. Ask him if you can FaceTime him real quick on the podcast, because he might be on his way back. We'll just say hi to him for like 5 minutes and move on.
He said fuck off.
He didn't.
He
You
did. I
text
texted him.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You're lying.
I would never lie to you.
Show me the phone.
Can't
What?
confirm nor deny. I don't know.
Apparently, Mason and Scott's relationship was not what I thought it was. So
Well,
It's less
we are
serious.
playing against each other in a flag football game this Sunday, so
oh yeah,
I haven't been too close to him for the past week.
We're on the same team, right?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do I stand?
You're gonna vote for our team.
Yes. I just need food.
All right. Anything else? Real estate, construction world, business in general, cryptocurrency apparently is falling to shit, but I don't know anything about crypto.
That's
So
awesome. I love watching it happen. Yeah, that's great.
billions of dollars just evaporating.
Yeah, as companies that are just holding records for flying aircraft around because they're bored, just falling into the ocean for no reason. What was the FTX or something? They were some big crypto company, and it turns out they're just a bunch of people having orgies on their craft or whatever. That's cool.
You got the money.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, it's other people's money that you're not
Exactly. That's even better.
There's a reason they're in Brazil, I think, right now.
Are you serious?
I think so, yeah.
That's hilarious. I don't know enough about that situation to comment on it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, just watching people spend a lot of money on homes is kind of crazy. Still happening. And I hope the prices continue to be friendly to the right kinds of people.
Yeah. But hopefully next week we'll have a little more information because since the rate dropped a little bit, that we might start seeing something a little different this coming week. Stay tuned.
All right. Let's wrap it up. Mason, where can people find you?
Mainly, I'm on Instagram, the IG, at MasonOxendale. Real easy. Fun stuff. It's not all real estate. A lot of my kids are on there. And like fantasy football related stuff. So come check me out.
How are you doing in fantasy football?
It's a vague question when you have 15 teams.
So,
Which one are you talking about?
are you winning on the majority of your teams or not?
I'm about middle of the pack. So this is where I have to make a run.
All right. So
gotta make a
if
run.
you want mediocre advice, go follow Mason's.
Yeah, most of the time you're in the middle pack if you win a championship. Those people who are at the top the whole time, like the person we won't name that's not here, they never win.
All right, Joe.
Joseph Morris. You can catch me on Instagram at searchit_there. Yeah, I drive cars for fun and I post about it sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Thaddeus, Klaus, the owner of Sledgehammers in the Office, where we help people take care of their houses by connecting them with construction and real estate professionals. You can follow me at ThadAzRealty for what I'm doing in real estate, and at SITO_building for what we're doing in construction. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
It's all good.
Yeah, drive safe.
Until next time, hope your hammer stays accurate, your Wi-Fi fast, and your work blessed. See everybody.
Hitting with the blamer.